Hello everyone, we have a relationship scandal story shared by a team member happening in real time. Let's get into it. Today is the day before Valentine, the 13th of February, and the Los Angeles Rams have just won the Super Bowl. I just shook hands and partied with my wife's cheating partner, who attended the Super Bowl party I hosted, disguised as just a friend. I am writing this cheating scandal story for the Relationship Scandal YouTube channel in real time, for publishing, as their team have been following up with me on my wife's cheating suspicion story. Today it finally confirmed my wife's been cheating on me. How heartless, callous and conniving. Have I been a simp all along? Under my own roof, my heartless wife decided to push the boundaries of her infidelity. I invited my cheating wife affair partner to watch the Super Bowl with me, unbeknownst to me. A coworker from the office was how she introduced him. I fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. Okay, sorry if my story sounds like a rant, I will try to make sense. At the moment, I am just fuming with anger writing this story. I might not even proofread or edit before giving this exclusive story to the Relationship Scandal channel team. You can subscribe to the channel if you want to follow up with my story, or not, I don't care. I will share this story on Reddit as well. Let me zoom out and give a little background. This marriage hasn't even lasted a year because we got married 2021. I loved my wife back when I met her, because ironically enough, I met her at a bar around this same time, February 3rd, 3 years ago in 2019. This is so weird because when I met her, in 2019, the Patriots were playing in the Super Bowl against, guess who? The Los Angeles Rams. I was supporting Tom Brady back then because I was a fan and she was supporting her hometown team, the Los Angeles Rams. I was my usual loud self at the bar, having a whole lot of fun when Tom Brady lifted the trophy and I saw this lady crying, as in real tears. Out of concern, I asked her what was wrong and why was she crying. I later found out my wife was just an avid sport follower, and she wanted her hometown team, Los Angeles Rams, to win very badly. I felt bad because I was rubbing it in everyone's face when Brady torched her team. I was celebrating every moment, but I felt bad and wanted to make her feel good somehow. I asked for her phone number and saved it. A few days later, we were already going on dates and having a good time. It was always refreshing to think back to those times now because we were happy. We have been inseparable so far. When we started dating, I had just gotten out of a bad breakup relationship with my ex who cheated on me, so bad that she was even the one that confessed to me, to clear her conscience. She had cheated on me with a guy she introduced to me as her distant cousin. The supposed cousin was actually her ex, whom she wanted to keep around but later admitted he wasn't really a cousin after they had a bad falling out and the ex wanted to blackmail her. I sure know how to pick the wrong ones. I know not all women are the same, but the wicked ones in a relationship can rip your heart out of your chest when you hear how bad they are. I have had a few shares of this crazy lots. Back to my present wife's story. So, we have always wanted the redemption season and redemption story with her hometown team, the Rams. Whenever we tell people how we have first met, it's always been thought of as a sweet story. I was the white knight consoling the princess who just witnessed her team lose. When the Rams started out this season playing well, we thought this was the year it would happen. The Rams were going to win it all. Then, the matchup we both dreaded happened. The Rams had to go through Tom Brady once again. I set aside my love for Brady and joined my wife's Los Angeles Rams bandwagon. The joy was priceless when the Rams won against Brady and later went to beat San Francisco in their conference finals. We knew this was the year, so we decided to throw a Super Bowl party for the main event. We wanted to make it small party and invited a select few people. She told me she wanted to invite 4 people, 2 from work, a lady, plus a guy and 2 more people that were not her work friends. I had 3 friends I invited, and everybody showed up. I never knew my wife had a work boyfriend and yes, he was present at the Super Bowl party, hosted in my house. This was how I found out my wife was cheating. When everyone came, we did introductions. We weren't all mutual friends, so we thought it was right to kick things off that way. I knew most of my wife's friends as they were all present at our wedding except for my wife's affair partner, who was introduced as work colleagues. My wife knew all my friends I invited to the party as she has seen them prior to today. I was a bit uneasy and curious about this guy from the beginning. Something wasn't feeling right, but I didn't let it get to me. I had all kinds of drinks and food to accompany. The game started well when the Rams scored the first touchdown of the game, and most of the people at my house were rooting for my wife at this point, due to the history. I started to notice something was wrong when I would find my wife and this guy having conversations and suddenly ending their conversations whenever I come around. He would give me this half smile with a pretend friendly nod at me, and I knew that was a sign of being fake. I found them by the fridge, eating pizza away from everyone, or I will find them sharing a glass of whiskey giggling near my restroom door. When they come to the couch, they couldn't seem to get their eyes off each other. It got so weird that one of my boys was asking me who this guy was, but I would play it off and tell them he's a friend from work and lie that I knew him. We were all drinking and celebrating touchdowns, getting worried there wasn't enough score separation between the teams as we would like, and we just talked about the game in general. Then it happened, after all the drinking, when the halftime show came on. I was throwing out one of the waste trash bags, spent some time outside on a phone call, and when I came back into the house, everybody was dancing and having a good time. I looked around for my wife, and there she was dancing with this guy from her work again. They weren't dancing where everybody was, they had found a spot under the stairs that led to the upper living room. This wasn't just an ordinary dance, they had locked lips and were fully grinding on each other. I went into rage and shoved the guy as hard as I could. His head hit the wall. My wife exclaimed and asked what the heck has gotten into me. I looked around like, was I being nuts? I said, how dare you kiss another man in my house, and told her she has lost her mind. She started to cry and said she didn't realize they were kissing, that she was drunk, and looked around for me, she couldn't see me. She said the dance was supposed to be a playful dance with the work colleague, and it wasn't what I thought it was. I am not a fool, and I wasn't buying that story. I faced the guy and told him if he doesn't start telling me what was going on, I would break the bottle I had in my hand on his head. He was frightened at this time and started to mutter incoherent sentences. I told him to speak up, and I wasn't a violent guy, but with the disrespect I just witnessed, I would be as violent as I could if he doesn't start revealing the truth. He said he apologized and that at first, he didn't know my wife was married, and he had told her he had a crush on her and they had been seeing each other for a while. I'm glad I didn't have a gun tonight, because God knows I would have shot this man with all this explanation I was hearing. How does he not know my wife was married? She leaves the house every day with her wedding ring. We don't have major quarrels, and I don't argue with my wife too much. I had thought I was living a happy married life up till tonight. I asked him for proof, and he showed me his text messages which corroborated his office fling affairs narration. At one point in their text exchange, my wife had confessed to her affairs partner that she was married, but she also said what was absolutely shocking to me. My wife said, I love this man, which was me, but she said she feels like her marriage had been a mistake. What? That was the first time I was ever hearing that. I started screaming at my wife when I was reading these texts, and the other friends at the party started to calm me down. This became an all-out scandal mess. As I am writing this, I don't even know what to do. I read the texts after threatening my wife's affair partner to confess, and I left the house. I am currently in a hotel, phone switched off, just writing away. Ironically, the suspicion story that made me reach out to the relationship scandal team is totally different from what is playing out with me right now. I will share those details in whatever the outcome of this current scandal is in a follow-up. Help me pray I don't do something bad to someone. Relationship scandal readers, we will be following up with this gentleman's story. Please subscribe for an update. Share your comment if you think this is an overreaction by the guy, or if the wife needs